What is up, guys? I am back here with my second video, and I'm very excited to do this one. But first, just hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, hit that like button, comment, and do whatever you need to do. Do all those things. And before we jump into today's double review, I do want to say, though, that 2 days ago when I did my first video, I was saying that I was dropping Mank down on my best picture list, and a lot of my categories for Oscars list because we've had no news. We've had trailers, release dates, all these news for other movies, but not this one. But a day later, after I said that yesterday, they dropped the trailer and release date for it, December 4th on Netflix. It was more like a teaser than trailer. It was a minute long. It'll be a black and white movie about how Citizen Kane came to be. Gary Oldman, Jerry Finn stars as Mank. Um, David Fincher's the directed this movie, and this movie looks beautifully shot. The cinematography looks absolutely amazing. This definitely feels like a 1940 films, which I really think this movie's going to copy Citizen Kane, and I really think that this can get Best Picture, possibly. I mean, if it does, Citizen Kane never got its Best Picture win. People are shocked that it didn't win. So in a way, if Mank wins, Citizen Kane kind of still wins, you know? And it'll be very definitely exciting to see what happens and how this plays out. But December 4th, Netflix, I'll definitely do a review of that day when it comes out that morning. And I'm so excited. I mean, a day later after I said we have no idea, and they drop a teaser and release date. So that's awesome. But let's jump into the double movie review, shall we? The first one is Charm City Kings, an HBO Max movie that dropped yesterday. This is a coming of age tale about a 13-year-old boy who whose brother as it was known for riding in this bike gang and this dirt bike gang, and he dies, and it's just about his 13-year-old brother, coping with that, but also wanting to show that he's a man, and so he tries to fit in with um, this gang, and he tries to do what he can to try to get in there, but a cop and his mother tries to help him, shy away from that because they don't want him to end up like his brother. Um, Rapper Meek Mills makes his film debut. He's in this movie as a guy who rode with the kid's brother, and he just got out of jail, and he takes this kid under his wing and forges his own path for the kid, which leads to violence and stuff like that. And it's definitely an engrossing ride throughout the entire thing. The way they portrayed the 13-year-old's relationships and his just life and just his everyday thing is really real. Like we can all relate to that because we all kind of were like that at age 13. And this movie was definitely a really good one. It was emotional. It got really emotional at the end, and I think a lot of people are going to like this movie. This was supposed to come out in April, but due to COVID, theater shutting down, this was taken right off the books. And here we are, October. It was released on HBO Max. So I was very excited to see it got that release date. I literally didn't know it got the release date until like last week. So I was very glad to see that. But I don't know. This movie is definitely a a movie that everyone loved. It premiered at Sundance in January at that film festival, and I think one of the biggest highlights of this movie, it won a couple awards, and one of the big highlights from this movie is Meek Mill's performance. I mean, he's always been a rapper, but this is his film debut, and he just crushed it. A lot of people they talked about it earlier in the year about how he could easily be nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, but I just don't see that happening. I really don't think so. I mean, I don't even think he's in the running. I think it's a strong, powerful, amazing performance. I mean, yes, if he did get it, he would definitely deserve it. But I just don't think that's happening. I mean, we have Chadwick Boseman, we have guys from the Chicago 7 movie. We just have a lot of others that are just playing in this category. And I think just throwing Meek Mills in there from this movie, I just think it just, even if it was thrown in there, I don't even think it'll be nominated or anything like that because there's just so much competition in every single category. But it was a very, very good performance. This movie definitely had its thrills. The bike scenes were absolutely amazing. They were breathtaking. There was one chase scene on the bike that there was not only was just beautifully shot and just everything about it was beautifully done, but it was just absolutely amazing. I mean, those bike scenes were just perfection, and I highly recommend this movie. Every movie review I'm going to do, I'm going to rate it 1 to 10, and I give this movie I gave this movie a 9. I think this movie really is a strong, important movie of this year, and I highly recommend it. HBO Max. It dropped yesterday. Go check it out. It's unbelievable. Those bike scenes were just absolutely breathtaking. I had a couple of funny minor, a couple things in there, but this really is an emotional drama, especially the ending, and it's just you're going to love it. And if you're a Meek Mills fan, you're going to be a Meek Mills fan, not more than just his rapping. His acting was just hot. But I give that 9 out of 10. The next one is the 4-Year-Old Virgin. I'm not talking about the classic Steve Carell comedy. I'm talking about the black and white comedy today that dropped today on Netflix. And when I mean virgin, I don't mean VIRGIN. I mean VERSION. And the full version is this black and white movie about this 4-year-old black lady who is this playwright, and she won like a 30 um, award 10 years before. And now she just teaches uh, a class for these students about playwriting, and she is a playwright, but she starts this love for writing raps and tries to forge her path in a rap uh, career. And it was this isn't one of those typical comedies because when people think comedies, people think Seth Rogen, Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell. This isn't like any of those type comedies. This is, to me, this is more like a comedy drama. Like this had a lot of drama and it had some funny parts, but there's different type of comedies, and this isn't your normal, straight up comedy that you think comedy is. This is a very heartfelt um, comedy. This is a very authentic and real portrayal of this life that this lady goes through, and people go through this life too. So both these movies that I'm talking about today are relatable, and this one definitely is very authentic. It's very passionate, and it is funny. It had me laughing at some parts. It really had me cracking up, but it also got really emotional throughout too, and you felt bad for her at some point. At some parts throughout the movie, you felt bad for her, but I absolutely love this movie. It's just incredible. I mean, she wrote, she directed, and starred in this movie, and this is all kind of her debut and it all, and she crushes it. Not only did this also debuted at Sundance in January, and this won a couple awards as well. And this was just phenomenal. I mean, she was praised for her directing, and 100% she deserves the praising, but not just for the directing. I mean, she deserves the praise for all of it: the writing, the directing, and the acting. The Like Charm City Kings, I don't know anybody in this movie, but both these movies, I want to know all what they're going to do next because every performance in both these movies were just incredible. But this one right here, the 4-year-old version, was it was just very raw and real, and you can just feel that through the screen. You really can. That ending, I tell you, was just absolutely perfect. I just kind of just blew me away. There was one scene in the movie that I think is one of my favorites. It was the Queen of the Ring scene. This guy, you'll have to watch the movie, but this guy takes takes a lady to this place where there's like a wrestling ring, and these four ladies, they battle it out in a battle rap, and there's no music. It's just, you just hear these words, and it's just, you know, you can just hear just the raps, and it was really really a good scene. It was absolutely crazy, kind of bonkers. I mean, you can hear the crowd going oh, and like oh snap, but you kind of did that too when you're watching. You're like, oh dang. But um but what I absolutely loved the most about this movie was the ending. This was a black and white movie, but at the very end, the very last scene, it just turned into color for the last few seconds, like the last minute. And I didn't even notice it at first. My eyes adjusted, and I was like, "Oh snap! It's in color." And I thought that was beautifully done. The way they just did that was just perfect. And but these performances, and you all want to know what they're going to do next, especially her. I cannot wait to see what she does next. These next couple of years, I don't know what her next project is. I don't know what she's going to do next, but at some point in the movie, this felt a little too long. It could have been a little shorter. I think she would be great in a television series. Granted, I think she's going to kill it in her next movie, but I would love to see her do a TV show as well, because I think she can crush it and that too. Um, but I give this an 8 out of 10. I really wanted to give this a 9. I really did. But just something was stopping me. I just have to watch it a couple more times. And but for right now, I'll give this a solid 8 out of 10. Both of these movies were incredible. Um, these two movies literally just dropped yesterday and today. And go check them out. Charm City Kings on HBO Max and The 4-Year-Old Virgin on Netflix. Both these movies are praised, amazing movies, and y'all should go check them out. I got 2 videos coming next week. I got one. I'm doing the best director category for Oscars next year. I'm going to go through that, and I'm just going to talk about 5 directors that are in the running that I think can be nominated, and I'll give a couple more of, if this doesn't live up, this can jump in. And then I'll also do a review of the Trial of Chicago 7 that comes out next week on Netflix. So excited for that. That is the number one contender right now. But we're definitely going to see. So that's what's coming up. Thank y'all for watching. And see ya.